Alright guys, Joel here. I'm one of the trainers here in the course, and I'm just going to do a bit of an overview of the unit here that you've started. So UEE RE0054, which is conduct site surveys for grid connected photovoltaic and battery storage systems. Just off the get-go, if you've enrolled into the battery course or the solar course, the design and install for grid connected units, this unit is an entry for both of them. So it kind of covers a bit of everything from solar to battery. So if you're just doing solar, yes, you're going to learn a little bit about battery systems. Also, if you're doing battery systems and you've previously done solar, but you've done it a while ago, this is the prerequisite for the new battery courses. So you have to do this as an entry to your battery storage. So yes, whilst there's going to be a bit of solar stuff here, again, you'll probably know the content, smash it out, learn from the battery content, and then, yeah, the idea here is that you can conduct a site survey to determine whether or not a solar system can go there or a battery storage system can go there as well. So a little bit of an overview. There's a chunk of theory here for you to move through it self-paced. Again, if you have any issues or questions, please reach out to your trainer. Ultimately, at the end, or at any point, you can do this practical side of it. You don't have to do it at the end. You can jump in and do these practical units. Now, these last two trainer sign-off tasks here are for the trainer. That usually gets completed at the end upon everything else being completed. So there's nothing there for you to do as a student. Really, the last thing you'll do here is a practical. So jumping into these practicals, the first site survey is for a PV system. The second one is for a battery storage system. Now, these site surveys do not need to be done on a site that you're actually going to do a design and actually going to do an install for. All we're looking for here is, do you know how to conduct a site survey, and can you follow the steps for a site survey to gather the correct information in order that a system designer could come along and take that information and successfully build and design a system from. So again, it's a site survey, and it can be done on your own house. Now, even if you happen to have solar on your own house and or a battery system on your own house, that's okay. Again, this is determining whether or not you can conduct a site survey. So for instance, we'll jump into the unit here. If there happens to be some photos that have the solar panels in, that have the batteries in, that has the inverter in, that's okay. You have at least demonstrated that you know how to look for a suitable location, and you've uploaded the evidence, and it just so happens that there's an inverter system in there. So again, something for you to look at, some details about the site, and a risk assessment. Again, you're not doing any electrical work, you are just observing. So please, there should be an attached, it should be down the bottom here, view resources, a risk assessment. There's your risk assessment there that you can download and fill out. Now again, there is no electrical work, but again, depending on the site's conditions, okay, you might be outside for a little bit, you might be exposed to bad weather. Getting to site, you might be exposed to an animal on site that's quite vicious. So you can just list some of the basic hazards that you might be experiencing on that site. And so again, no electrical work, no working at heights. We don't want you to be climbing up on any roof or exposing yourself to anything extremely dangerous here. You're just determining and finding out whether or not it is suitable location for a solar and/or battery system. So again, there's some preliminary research here. Again, you'll have to look at a site plan, having a photo of the roof, particularly for a solar system, and also for a battery system. We want to see where the switchboard is in conjunction to where the battery might be going, so we can work out distances. Please get selfies of yourself out the front so we know you are on site there, and again, it could be your own house. Energy assessment, so this will be power bills. Even if the power bill just so happens to have, and say that there's a solar system on, as long as you can indicate that you know how to get a power bill, and then you can extract the correct information from it, okay? So this here is some of the information we need from the bill, and that's what's important. So site survey, some details around the solar system, where it's going to go, the resources. Again, there is a video down the bottom and in the resource section on how to do this. Again, we want kilowatt hours. Okay, you have to make sure that you change on the Bureau of Meteorology to kilowatt hours. Shading assessment, so make sure you get photos of anything that could be shaded there. Tilt and orientation of the array. Aesthetics, again, just write some comments in there. Switchboard assessment, again, does it need to be upgraded or not? And inverter location assessment, climate assessment. There's a bit there, but once submitted, make sure you hit save and submit, and that comes through your trainer. So again, if you've got any issues, please do reach out to your trainer. There is also a battery site survey, so that's very similar to the PV one, but the battery one is all about picking a suitable location for the battery. Now, you might utilize the same photo 3 or 4 times in this one because you're determining the requirements for fire barrier, mechanical protection, is it a habitable or non-habitable location, all that sort of stuff. So it might be the same photo, you just utilized in 3, 4, 5 different times. But ultimately, yep, if you've got any questions, please reach out to your trainer.